We started a series, which I don't really ever do series, so this has been really interesting. We're talking about antagonistic supersets, and all that means is like bicep, tricep, hamstring, quadricep, opposing muscle groups. And what that does is two things. First of all, it improves muscle balance. That's the main thing. For instance, we were always real bad about doing too much pressing and not enough pulling, so it leads to shoulder injuries. All right. It also causes appearance imbalance. Like if you keep doing this and you're like this, that don't look so good. But if you hold your shoulders back because you're balanced, it looks good. We've also known for years that it increases the speed of training because you can train. It literally takes half the time. Today we're going to do a flat fly and a rear delt. Now this is a superset you won't see in any of the old books, but we're talking more about movement patterns as opposed to just body parts. So today, technically we're working a chest and a rear delt. So usually you would think of chest and back, but we're doing a chest and rear delt, but we're working the same movement pattern. Daniel's going to do the exercise and it'll make sense. This is one of those things where pictures worth way more than 1,000 words when I just show it to you. So a flat fly is just that. You keep your arms slightly bent, your elbows bent. Now, one of the things that I'm preaching to everybody these days is to eccentrically come down, take 2 or 3 seconds. You can come up fast if you want to, but come down, squeeze at the top, come down, get a good stretch. So what we would do, and Daniel's using light weights to show this, you could have 2 sets of dumbbells, or he's going to use the same ones just because we're demonstrating. You're going to be able to use a lot more weight on the chest fly than you will the rear delt. And it's all because when you see what a rear delt looks like, you'll see. All right, hop right up. He's going to come up here. All right. That's good. Turn sideways to him so they can see that. Good. So you can see in your mind's eye that if we took Daniel and we flipped him upside down, that's what it would be the same movement. But because the load is in your hands, obviously, gravity's pulling this way. Now he's working the back part of his shoulders. All right, rest. I'm going to do that one more time just to show it. This works for every body part that you can think of. And like I said, this is nothing new when I first started the series. The first time I ever read about this, I was 15, and it was in 14 maybe, Schwarzenegger's first book. And that was when body part splits had really just started taking on, was in the 70s. Now, come full circle, full body training is the thing. And actually that's what I'm doing right now. But there's still room for this kind of superset because it makes everything so much more efficient. And those of you that are busy, which is just about everybody, or those of you that don't like, I love training and still like this feeling, anything that gets you in and out of the gym fast is a bonus, right? So whether you're into it for hardcore reasons because you love it like I do, or you're just trying to stay alive and stay healthy, which is 99% of the population, this works for both of you. Do it one more time, Dan, just show the movement. I said and run my mouth all day, but to see Daniel do the exercise makes a lot more sense. And this works the entire chest. I mean, the whole chest. And you can feel it. It's also a good way. I always try to do when we're training other people, when I'm training myself, we do a lot of pressing movements, and then we try to do something that opens you up like this to stretch. And if you do this and do it controlled, it won't bother your shoulders. If you do it haphazardly and too fast, you can get shoulder joint problems. All right, come straight back up. I like this so much. Like I said, this is not something you'll see a lot of other people talk about because it's a movement pattern. We all get stuck in our minds, well, that's not back, that's shoulders. Well, it's the front part and then the back part. So it is, it's the same thing, but it's a movement pattern that we're training. And when you're doing full body, I might do this movement pattern one day and then I'll do a push for chest press and a pull like a low row. Same idea, I'm working a pattern more than I am just thinking about muscle groups. All right, rest. I like this so much, I want to show one more version of it. It's the same thing, but we're going to use cables.